What's good, YouTube? Nappy492 here, back again once again. Today it's Thursday, so you know means we're in the Pokemon top 5 all lined up and ready to go for you guys. Last week I had the choice between the top 5 starters or top 5 champions, and as you guys can see on the screen right now, top 5 champions won. Now I know 6th gen comes out next week, but we're going to go based off of everything up to 5th gen, and of course this top 5 as well as any top 5 that I do is 100% opinionated, meaning that if you don't agree with it, then by all means leave your own opinion in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off our countdown this week, we have somebody that is often hated upon for being chosen as the champion in her region, but I like her, I do like her. I like Iris as champion. The reason I like Iris as champion is because I like the whole idea of like the younger, the youthful champion, the person that, you know, put in work, the person that was a gym leader and then put in that work to become champion. Now I know Wallace did the same thing, but I really don't care for Wallace at all. There's nothing you can sit here and tell me that would make Wallace one of my favorite champions. Even if he is a water type, I do not like Wallace. I'm just calling him Walrus. I don't like Wallace. But Iris I like just because the idea of like this young innocent girl turns out to just be a straight badass with her and her team just straight wrecks people. So Iris is number 5. You gotta at least give her credit for that. So that's why she's number 5 this week on top 5 champions, yo. I hate the fact that when we do top 5s like this one and last week's, like I can't go all out and add like all the Pokédex description and typing and shit like that. It just makes the top 5 seem like inferior. I don't know. But anyways, the number 4 slot this week, we have Alder for the exact opposite reason that I had Iris. I know it seems very hypocritical and very weird, but I like the idea of having this seasoned veteran as champion. You know, it's almost like what you would expect. And when it comes to Pokemon, especially with champions, you know, most of the time they just have a younger champion, not as young as Iris, but you get what I'm saying, like someone that looks like they're in their 20s, maybe 30s. You know, you don't ever really see a whole lot of older competitors in Pokemon. Every once in a while you'll see like Agatha or Drake in the Elite Four, but as champion you don't see that a lot. And I like the idea of Alder being like this war-battled veteran, war-torn, or whatever the fuck it is, someone who's just been through it and knows what the fuck he's doing. So I like Alder at least for number 4. In the number 3 slot this week, we have Steven Stone, just for no other reason other than the fact that he's the only champion that has a last name. JK, I'm not serious about that. But one of the reasons that I have Steven Stone at number 3 is because, number 1, the way that they build him, and I'll use that as reasoning for someone that's also in this countdown that we haven't seen yet, but I like the way they build him in the sense that he's like your friend the entire time. And I know that they make it seem like all champions, you know, they pop in and out of the main storyline, they might give you an HM, or Cynthia gave you like the Togepi egg or shit like that, but just, it was like no other champion was built so well to the point where he's like almost like a friend or a mentor type of thing. Like even Alder, I don't think they did the storyline as well as they did for Steven Stone. And on top of that, just the idea that Steven Stone was like this steel type master. He had nothing but straight walls and just monsters on his team. Oh lord, Steven Stone at least gets a number 3, and that was hard to put him there. Claiming the number 2 spot this week, we have Vegeta's lookalike, Vegeta's stunt double himself, Lance. If you know anything about me and my top 5s, you know that I use just the idea of OG as reasoning for some of my choices, and this is another one of those occasions where, like, you can't do a top 5 champions list without including Lance. You can't. I'm sorry. Even in 1st gen, maybe it was just me growing up, like I got the whole idea of like your rival being champion, but like I always saw through what that was for what it really was. You know, it was just Game Freak being like, ha, look at this. So I always saw Lance as like that final test. And then in Johto, they made him, in 2nd gen, they actually made him champion. They gave him that right. So I really enjoy Lance just as a dragon type master. It's just the idea of having the strongest types going hard in the fucking paint. Plus he had that hacked ass Dragonite. Shit, motherfucker's amazing. And finally, in the number 1 slot this week, we have Cynthia. Now, if you guys remember how I was talking about with Steven Stone and how they build somebody and they create a character for them, to me, especially for Game Freak's first female champion, they gave Cynthia such an intimidating presence, such an intimidating aura in the game. You know, in 4th gen, you know, where there's Diamond and Platinum and she's there, she always knows what she's talking about. She's always there at the right time. She always is just like, boom, what up? I'm Cynthia, I'm here. You know, she just gives off such an intimidating presence, and everybody knows when you go to face Cynthia and she got that Garchomp on her team. Ooh, doggy, I think that's the only one that people are legit intimidated about when they go to face her. So I think they just built her character perfectly, and I don't know, that's why she's number 1 for me. So there you have it, people. That wraps up this week's top 5 champions. If you did enjoy this week's top 5, make sure you smash that like button down below for me, and make sure you share with us your own top 5 champions as well. Now, a lot of y'all motherfuckers have been ignoring the sharing of the top 5. You just like to vote, and that's cool and all, but niggas, everybody done fought the champions before, so y'all motherfuckers lying if you ain't got one that you like more than the other. Anyways, that in addition to, I kind of sort of have a bonus top 5 this week for you guys. Last week I forgot to mention it, but me and my boy Shino World actually did a top 5 over on his channel, and actually it's not even a top 5, it's a top 10. We did top 10 creepiest Pokédex entries. It was added to the playlist on my channel. If you guys didn't know, if you look in the description, there is a playlist for all the top 5s that we ever done. But yeah, it'll also be linked in the description too, so if you guys could check that out, that mean a lot to me. Top 10 creepiest Pokemon, and spoiler alert, Gengar is on there somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you where, but he is on there. But besides that, you guys, next week with the arrival of X and Y, I'm not gonna give you guys the chance to vote for anything, because it's almost like we're gonna start a new chapter for top 5, and we're probably gonna focus primarily on a lot of different Kalos region elements and aspects for our top 5 series for a little while. So I'm gonna hold off on voting for the new, I almost said types, the new basis, the new idea, the new theme, there we go, the new theme for top 5 until next week when we can see a little bit more about the game. But besides that, you guys, thank you for checking out the video. Smash that like button if you haven't for me. You know me, YouTube man 192. I'm out.